Alright, Deandre Ayton officially became a Laker a couple of days ago, and now he officially became a Laker after his introductory press conference, which included him talking about everything from championship expectations and aspirations with the team, something that fans definitely like to hear and want to hear from him, playing with Doncic, playing with LeBron obviously, coming from Portland and the lack of playmaking talent he had there, and simply about his future with the team and why he picked them over other teams that could have offered more money, definitely lower expectations, and not the fans wanting to win a championship or kind of saying championship or bust, why he picked them even with all of that, and why he is now currently a Laker. So we'll go through it bit by bit, talking about the most important parts that stood out to me at least, and simply about Deandre Ayton's fit and his outlook with the team going forward. And well, like I mentioned, he definitely did not forget to mention Doncic and LeBron here, talking about his fit with them, how they can help him, and the great playmaking ability that they have, which I'm sure he's very excited to play with. For a guy that came from Phoenix and playing with a point god himself, Chris Paul, then going to Portland with some not so great playmaking, actually bottom 3 in the entire league, not to mention that. Now coming to Doncic and LeBron probably feels like heaven for Deandre Ayton, and here's what he had to say about it.
You mentioned just referring to Luka and LeBron and kind of what a big man like you, how that could optimize your game. How do you think that could work on the court, and what have you seen from them over the years?
Completely. I mean, they both average about 9 assists over their career span, and just the type of players they create with their teammates. They turn them into superstars, and they make them bigger than their roles and make them very important on the floor as well. And just seeing that and finally getting the chance to go in and experience that would be big for me, and just get me back to my full form how I used to play, and just coming up and just being a part of the finals is those playmakers that I'm used to having around me that's leading to wins.
I mean, he didn't directly say it, but coming from Portland that had terrible playmaking talent around him, now to the Lakers with LeBron and Doncic, even Austin Reeves after them, he's definitely happy about that, and I do not blame him at all. I mean, back during the 2023-24 NBA season and 24-25, both of the 2 seasons that he played in Portland, he had a teammate playmaking talent around him of F in both years per B-Ball index. So yeah, don't really have to say much after that. Deandre Ayton was definitely affected by that, having terrible playmaking around him, honestly having some terrible calls around him, and fit for himself and fit for his scheme and what he likes to do on the court. It definitely wasn't a good fit for him, so coming from that now to LA will be an obvious and very apparent upgrade for him. After that, he then got a question about the questions about himself, him not reaching his max potential, very likely hinting at the off-court issues here and what fans tend to say about him, what other teams have apparently kind of hinted at about him and his character, and he definitely gave a pretty great response to it about how he plans to prove them wrong and what he plans to show Laker Nation this season.
Daily Time, Brad Turner. When you hear critics say that about questions you about reaching your max potential, playing at a high level consistently, does that motivate you more, and how you kind of use that to go and plan for the Lakers now?
Most definitely. It fuels me. It fuels me up completely, and it's a different type of drive that I've been wanting to express for a long time, and I think this is the perfect timing. Here in the purple and gold, and it's a platform that I cannot run from. I can show what I really am, and just be around some greats to really emphasize that for me as well. And it is a lot of fuel in me, to prove the whole world wrong.
I mean, that's pretty much the perfect answer from him. With all the questions and apparent issues about his character, off the court, on the court, teammate-wise, and whatever you want to talk about with them, Deandre Ayton definitely said what we wanted here as Laker fans, him saying that he wants to increase his intensity, reach a level that he's never shown before, and bring it directly to one of the biggest platforms in the NBA, that being the purple and gold and obviously your very own Los Angeles Lakers. Saying that he can't run for this platform, the Lakers obviously have a gigantic media and a gigantic fan base to that fact, so it's kind of now or never for him. Either he proves it, or it could potentially even hurt him more if he doesn't prove it. And it definitely will be interesting to watch. Hopefully he does keep his word on it. Following up that question, Then he got asked about playing with Luka Doncic and directly in the pick and roll game and the pick and roll game between them, which is obviously a big priority for Luka Doncic. He is a pick and roll maestro himself and definitely likes to play with a pick and roll lob threat. I mean, coming from Dallas and playing with Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, then coming to LA and playing with Jackson Hayes, it wasn't quite the same thing for him. At least apart from athletic ability, that's the thing that we know Hayes has, but apart from that, having a more skilled big in the pick and roll, which he now might have again with Deandre Ayton. And here's what Ayton had to say about it.
You've been one of the most efficient pick and roll finishers, just finishers in general, over the last few seasons. How do you envision your two-man chemistry?
Should be quite fun. I like to let my ball handlers do what they do, and they lead me to do the rest. And Luka he's black and white in the pick and roll. He puts so much pressure on the rim. You have to be willing to finish above the rim and just finish your rolls and just do your part. I think I've got a little cheat code. Playing with the playmakers I played with it in my past. Coming into the league, and I'm pretty aware of how to get guys open and either to play in the pocket or roll straight to the rim. But it's all about putting pressure on the rim and finishing at a high level. And that's where I think they'll really emphasize the pick and roll is because they're great passers as well. And the type of guys they are, it puts them in a bind just playing that cat and mouse game in the pick and roll.
Mark, Deandre, good to see you.
Once again, he did reference the great playmaking they once had around him back in Phoenix, obviously not Portland here, playing with CP3 and how he might be able to replicate that again and kind of show it again with Luka Doncic. And while I for one am very intrigued and very interested to watch it work between them, Ayton himself is a very good pick and roll finisher. Not only that, but even has a very good mid-range shot, something that some fans might not know about him, but something they will get more of even before than with Anthony Davis. And kind of like bubble Anthony Davis, Ayton is that good from the mid-range, is that good at the rim, whether you're talking about being a lob threat or simply as a finisher around the rim. And then on top of that is a very good offensive rebounder too. So putting that all together, this should be the highest expectation between them in my opinion, between Ayton and Luka Doncic here, and what I'm definitely looking forward to the most between them. But then for the final question and answer from Deandre Ayton that stood out to me at least, was him kind of throwing away some narratives and a question that kind of hinted at him joining a big three, rather than simply joining the Lakers and being a piece of their puzzle, which in my opinion he answered perfectly here and really dispelled the narratives and the many that probably will come his way with him being a Laker now.
With that in mind, the idea, Deandre, of playing to your maximum potential, where are the areas in your game that you feel most determined to grow as a player?
Mainly just protecting that rim as much as possible. Closing out possessions and really just leading these things to buckets every pick and roll. I said is a strong screen when I roll to the rim. I'm rolling to the rim aggressively. Just really emphasizing the thing the team wants. What's my role and just really playing hard at it.
Deandre, just kind of wondering, in your mind, as you kind of look forward to this season, do you picture yourself as part of a big three type thing with LeBron and Luka, or is it more, you feel you're more kind of coming here to just kind of play a role?
I leave that up to you guys. I leave that up to you guys. I'm just here to be a part of the puzzle. I'm here to fit in with Luka and JJ and Brown wants me to do. That's about it.
You've been asked a couple questions about kind of the motor, so to speak. Do you think those questions have been fair? And if not, what part of you do you think people have misunderstood?
I feel like, at the end of the day, I'm on the court. I'm supposed to perform, and, it's just different routes of organizations, whether you want to win or not. And, I've just taken my route where I want to win. And, when it comes to wins, it's like you play hard when you know everybody's goal is to win. You do everything you're supposed to do or you can do to win.
Like I said, absolutely love that answer from him. He's definitely going to have to get used to shutting down reporters and turning down the narrative or headline they want him to answer and in the version that they're trying to get from him, and simply turning them down and saying the right answer for the team and for himself going forward. So again, love that answer from him, love the outlook that he has with their team and simply being a piece of their puzzle. Not trying to come in and make it all about him, not saying stuff like in the past like he has about dominating and the fit kind of being about him and him being the main piece of teams, stuff like that. So kind of pointing more in a team direction and what I want to hear from him too. But then to finish up, I lied, I actually like one more thing from him. This simply being about Luka Doncic and
Yeah, you haven't been the #1 pick in the draft and coming in the same year as Luka. Your guys' names have been connected ever since you stepped foot on NBA court. Just what do you think about the turn of events that now you guys get to be teammates and maybe you won't hear that noise quite so much because you guys are on the same page?
Yeah, it feels like a video game. Like somebody set it up. I think somebody set this up. But like honestly, it's an opportunity that I won't take for granted. You know, Luka's a once in a generation player, and I'm happy to be his teammate. Hearing how much shape he's been in, he's super ripped, and I'm finally glad to be on his side. You know, while he's doing all of that, and you know, I'm just truly excited. You know, I'm a student of the game, and you know, I love to play with a passion, and you know, the love I've received, and I've not even thrown on the jersey yet. Is, you know, I can only show you guys my appreciation.
And well, with all of that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the Deandre Ayton press conference? How do you feel about his answers and even some of the narratives he shut down right away? And simply about the fit between himself, Luka Doncic, LeBron, and this current Lakers team going forward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.